What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are heading to UC-0095 as we continue our coverage of Mobile Suit Gundam Pulitzer. Last time, Kikka met with Sailor Mass and Baltachika. She learned that Amado has struggled to connect after experiencing such an intense, emotional moment with Lala. This time, we meet with Kato, who retells the story of Amado, the white unicorn, who took on the Blue Rose. Also, Kikka meets with a one-year war fan favorite. So let's get into this. At the New Kennedy War Museum, a Mr. Kato is getting a prototype Zeta Gundam for an exhibit. The MSZ-006X prototype Zeta Gundam is a variant of Zeta with no transformation capabilities. It also has Anaheim Electronics' block build-up mechanism. I assume this means built like Legos or GUNPLA? Imagine getting shipped giant runners. It is equipped with Delta Gundam's beam rifle, a shield, and an eye-field beam saber. Kikka meets with him after his exchange. He is just a normal salaryman, and their company has a strong NDA, so there might not be a lot to get out of him. She is here about his involvement with the AUG and Kuraba during the Grips conflict. He used to be with Anaheim Electronics' California branch. During this time, they were in charge of putting together a ground-based Zeta Gundam. He is merely just in charge of sales, however. She wants to know about Amado Ray's involvement. He says that he only had contact with the White Unicorn. At this time, Amado's whereabouts were unknown to everyone. Kato did business with a man named the White Unicorn. This person may or may not be Amado Ray, but he wasn't privy to that information. During this time, New Type Labs aligned itself with the Titans as the AUG and Kuraba denounced the use of human experimentation. And in order to create cyber new types, you need new guinea pigs. However, there was one exception, Chakra Labs. Since the AUG and Kuraba didn't do enhancements or surgeries, Chakra Labs focused on Psychomu systems and mainly focusing on the hardware. Even though ethically, they couldn't resist utilizing new types for war. This is where they created 3 special Zeta Gundams. The MSZ-006 3A Zeta Gundam 3A type is the 3rd series of Zeta Gundams created. Like the original Zeta, it has a generator in its legs to have it closer to the thrusters for Wave Rider mode. This also improves its ANBAC system. This version, however, doesn't have the biosensor. It is equipped with 60mm Vulcans, a 2-tube grenade launcher on each arm, a grappling wire, a high-output beam saber, the Hyper Mega Launcher, and a shield. The MSZ-006 3B Zeta Gundam 3B type, also called Buster Zeta, is a variant with its tailbinder split into 2 and attached to the head. It also has 2 extra thrusters on its legs. Its gold color is due to the beam deflection coating. However, it can only take a few hits in the same spot before being useless. It has the same weapons as the 3A minus the Hyper Mega Cannon, and adds a large beam cannon launcher and a beam machine gun. Its Wave Rider mode looks like a giant cannon. The MSZ-006 P2 3C Zeta Gundam P2 3C type is another variant that uses the Psycho Neutralizer, which is an advanced version of the biosensor. In many ways, it is the predecessor to the Intention Automatic System in the Sinanju and Sinanju Stein. This allows the unit to interfere with new type weapons on the battlefield. We will see this used on Geminus. This is highly unstable and has the potential to turn you into a Camille. Weapons include 60mm Vulcans, a beam pistol, a beam saber, and a shield. Besides the White Unicorn, there was also the Grey Wolf and the Red Snake, although never named. Grey Wolf is Shin Matsunaga. Red Snake is the pilot Yuri Ajisa. If you remember the scene in Evolve where the Grey Wolf was yelling about the color of his mobile suit, that was Kato. White and Grey jump into the battle while Red catches up to them. Kato mentions that Amado sensed the enemy from space and went into battle before the alarms even went off. This new psycho weapon tears through Irish and Salamis-class ships. It is the Blue Rose, also known as Geminus.
It's a Gundam!
It's an angel!
It's an angel!
Angel, it's a...
The QRX-006 Geminus is a prototype mobile armor made by the Titans. It was developed by Chakra Labs, who eventually went on to betray the Titans. It is equipped with a Psychomu system and is piloted by 6 monks with new type abilities. It is equipped with 8 Hastas, which are Psychomu-controlled drones that can transform into tiny mobile suits, which are equipped with beam guns. Other weapons include a megaparticle cannon which can hit Earth from orbit, a beam cannon, and a detachable hand with a beam cannon in each finger. Red is captured by the Geminus. Grey Wolf, Suicide, which sets Red free. Geminus begins using its megaparticle cannon and attacking Earth from satellite orbit. Earth forces retaliate and attack when the Geminus transforms into mobile suit mode. White handles the hostas when Red snaps out of it. She is eventually able to destroy the head of the Geminus. She also becomes some mecha bodhisattva or some shit. I don't know, it's weird and vague. One of Kato's men calls for him. That is all the time he could give for now, and the former AE rep departs. Kikka only saw the weak and frail version of Amado who wanted nothing to do with war. But here we see people who saw him as a god, and not only that, he acted accordingly in front of them. She wonders if he simply allowed himself to be vulnerable around his true friends. She doesn't know, but she knows her next move is heading back into space. At New Kennedy Space Station, her flight is delayed by 2 hours. She uses this time to have herself a filler chapter. At the lunar city of Amman is the Tolro Corporation, a subsidiary of Anaheim Electronics. This company is working on the Totohachi, which will become a mainstay 1 year later during Gundam Unicorn. The person in charge of development is October Saran, creator of New Gundam. Everything is going well, but he doesn't seem happy. His teammates mention that he built one of the best mobile suits ever, so this petite mobile is probably just a toy to him. A mysterious man approaches him and wonders why he would run off to a sister company, making something so simple. No embezzlement, a loving family, and nothing to hide, it seems. He takes off his hat to reveal that it is Kai Shiden. He shows him a picture of the Psycho Frame, but October isn't interested in answering any questions. Kai knows that October was building a successor to New Gundam and wonders why October didn't go through with it. He says it is because war ended and people disarmed. He takes his leave, but Kai does his best Columbo cosplay and says one more thing.
You know, there's only one thing that I'm not clear about.
He wonders what happened to the Psycho Frame, knowing that they scrapped it in the name of peace. He is also frustrated that his life work was put to rest, but he doesn't go against the higher-ups. He makes his leave and tells Kai that getting involved with the Psycho Frame is dangerous. Meanwhile, in Rio de Janeiro, Beltachika meets with Bosch Weller. He is currently an ensign and helped push Axis out of Earth's orbit with Amado, but he will go on to eventually pilot Gundam F90. Bosch was also a former member of Kuraba, and it seems that he is dedicated to finding Amado's body. He feels that after how much he did to EFF, it is the least that he could do. He put in a request for an all-out search party, but EFF denied this. Him and Beltachika seem to be on the same page and tells him that in order for EFF to approve your request, you need some sort of evidence. Perhaps he should search Axis again. Bosch might have been the last person to ever see Amado alive, besides Char. He says that a flash of light appeared from New Gundam and every other mobile suit was pushed back, and then Axis began leaving Earth's orbit and no one knows why to this day. He explains that after all was said and done, they focused on recovering soldiers who ran out of propellant. But eventually he returned to the same spot Amado was a few hours earlier, just to see nothing. Beltachika shows him 3 photos. One of them is a Jagan, but the colors are different. What color is it? This is a black and white comic. Beltachika says that his Jagan belonged to the 88th Fleet's Salamis-class ship called the Sierra Leone. The pilot of this unit was Colonel Yu Kajima. Of course, we know Yu Kajima as the pilot of Blue Destiny during the 1-year war and former member of the Guinea Pig team. Kajima happened to be by Amado's side after Bosch and the others were pushed away. He eventually abandoned his mobile suit and escaped. He wonders how she got this information. New data happened to come to light. Our scientists did the math, and even with 30 mobile suits pushing on Axis, it wouldn't be enough to push Axis out of Earth's gravity well. Bosch mentions that there was a warm sensation around during that moment, some kind of force. He said it best, it was straight out a miracle. So they sent a probe to study these forces and were able to get these images in the process. But the official statement by EFF is that no such miracles have occurred. But why? It is pretty clear, and Beltachika spells it out. The rise of new types plus the death of half of all of humanity leaves one to be quite desperate. If they were to claim that their precious new type performed a miracle, then without a doubt, he would become a martyr and a god. He would become Jesus. Like the Roman Empire, when mankind rallied behind a god, it can shake the current system to its core. Beltachika says that this is why their plan must play out in the utmost secrecy and see the truth with their own eyes. In a park in Von Braun, which has the first lunar lander, Kikka meets with Yu Kajima. He never met with Amado directly, so he's confused why she would interview him. She wants to know more about someone who fought in the 1-year war all the way up to Char's rebellion. She thought about how the first mobile suit pilots thought of Amado back in the day. Yu tells her that they were all awestruck and couldn't believe it was a civilian kid. He was a Saberfish pilot during the Battle of Loom and saw the Zaku firsthand for the first time. After Amado and the Gundam came to be, he thought that they were already obsolete in many ways. They eventually received Amado Ray's battle data. Not one of his teammates were able to beat him in the simulator. He felt his pride was crushed, but he eventually made progress. He started to learn the quirks of the simulation data, and he started to understand why Xian called him the White Devil. Yu thinks of Marion and the exam system. You really need to get back to covering Blue Destiny. He only experienced Amado through the simulator data. However, he can't help but wonder if Amado should be seen as the hope of the new type ideal or as the threat to it. And that will do it for this episode. This will be it for our coverage of Pulitzer for some time, as we have caught up. Go support Trafalgar Law, the translator, if you want this done faster. He also is retranslating a lot of the Astray mangas, so go check that out as well. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember that Amado created the Kobayashi Maru during the 1 Year War. Peace.